Hey friends, I'm Miss Karen at Adams Memorial Library. Welcome to September's Bake-A-Tale. Bake-A-Tale is the program where we talk about something yummy to bake and books and crafts to go with it. So September, this month, it is time to make the donuts. So that's what I have to share with you this time. I made chocolate donuts with chocolate icing and sprinkles and cinnamon sugar donuts. So the crafts will also be kind of based on donuts, and some are donuts and then some are a little bit looser. They're based in the Netherlands, where donuts may have originated from. So if you would like to come and get your kit at the library with recipes and the list of the books and some materials to make the crafts, you can come down to the children's room and pick up a craft kit. Or you can always give us a call and reserve them, and we can have the kits ready for you for curbside pickup, whatever you would like. So first, let me tell you about the donut books that I have this week. The first one is If You Give a Dog a Donut by Laura Numeroff and Felicia Bond. So if you give a dog a donut, the dog will probably want some apple juice to go with it. And the dog should happen to run out of apple juice, well, then chances are you're going to need to find some more. So if you give a mouse a cookie, you might have an idea of how this one will go. This book, The Not So Quiet Library by Zachariah O'Hara, this might be my favorite donut story because, spoiler alert, donuts and books save the day. And what can be better than that? And it takes place in a library. So this is a fun story too that you can check out. And the third book that I have is new to me. I just found out about this book now. It's called Little Red and the Very Hungry Lion. And it's written and illustrated by Alex T. Smith. If you know the story of Little Red Riding Hood, then this story of a clever little girl who outsmarts somebody bigger and stronger might sound a little bit familiar. But Little Red in this story, instead of going to visit her grandmother, she's actually going to visit her aunt and take her aunt some medicine and some donuts. And instead of meeting a hungry wolf along the way, she meets a very hungry lion. So if you would like to check out any of these books, you can reserve them at the library and check them out and read them for inspiration while you're making some donuts. As I said, the donuts that I made this time are cinnamon sugar covered and chocolate donuts with chocolate icing, because when I was little, every time we would visit my grandparents, my grandfather would always go to the bakery and bring us donuts as a special treat. And my favorite were the ones that were chocolate with chocolate icing. So I made these ones in honor of my grandfather. Now, to make donuts, you're going to need a donut pan. But if you don't have a donut pan, you can make donut muffins instead. If you have a muffin pan, a muffin tin, you can use the same kind of batter and bake them in the muffin tin instead. And remember, anytime you're baking, always, always, always bake with an adult, because these do require a hot oven. But the pan that I used, well, I used a couple of them because I used these mini donut pans to make teeny tiny little donuts, because I figured that way you could just eat more. So what you do with these is you mix the dough. They'll have the recipes in the kit. They're not really hard it's not a hard recipe. You just have to mix it all up. And then you put the dough into the pan, grease the pan, and then put the dough in. And it was a little bit tricky to use this little pan. So if you had a regular size donut pan, it might be a little bit easier. But what I did was use a cookie scoop and just kind of put it around in the middle and try to keep the middle clear. And I did it that way. Now, when I made these cinnamon ones, I actually filled the pan a little bit too high, and it came up and over the center part here, and it kind of made like little cakes, but not donuts, because it didn't have the hole in the middle, because they were in the pan like this, and they came so high that it covered up the hole. But I just poked holes out myself to make them like that, and they still tasted fine. And for the chocolate ones, I put sprinkles on top just to make them extra fancy. Now, these donuts are easy because they're just baked. You just bake them in the oven. Some donuts are fried, but I did not do that kind. Those are more complicated. So these ones are easy. You put them in a pan or muffin tin, and you just bake them. And when they come out of the oven, then you can enjoy them. And maybe you'll have apple juice, like the dog who likes donuts. But whatever beverage you like, I hope you'll enjoy your donuts. In your kits will be materials to make the crafts this month. And you can do donut ornaments if you would like. And Miss Grace, who is new to the library, was kind enough to make these for us. And if you haven't met Miss Grace yet, come on down to the children's room and meet her. She's very nice and she'd love to meet you, and she's very good at crafts. She made us these beautiful donuts. Now in your kit will be pieces of pool noodle, which is what these are. So they already have the hole in the middle, like a donut, and then you can decorate them however you would like. We will include some cotton balls. That's actually what this is. You pull the cotton balls apart and you can make it look like the glaze or the icing on the donut, and maybe use some little pom-poms or some rickrack. You can cut it apart and pretend that it's sprinkles. You can decorate them however you'd like. So the decorating of these donuts is going to be up to you. If you would like to hang it up, we'll give you some yarn so you can hang them up and use them as an ornament and decorate that way. The other things that we have this month are not quite as obvious why they're donuts, but as I said, they're something that's inspired by the Netherlands, and that's where donuts may have come from before they came to the United States. It could have been Dutch immigrants who brought the recipes with them and how to make donuts. So when you think of the Netherlands, you might think of windmills or tulips. So we'll do some paper folding to make either windmills or tulips. And you can use them if you want. You could use them to decorate, or a pinwheel. You can do it that way. But you can use these to decorate a bag. You can maybe make a tulip and decorate the bag that way and give somebody donuts. So it's kind of connected. To make these pinwheels, we'll give you some origami paper. So you know the origami paper will already be in a square. You can decide which side you want to be on the outside. And when you start folding your origami paper, whatever part you want to be on the outside, the design that will show, you put that on the outside when you start folding. So you're going to fold your paper in half to make a rectangle this way and this way. Then you're going to open it up and make it into a triangle this way, and then open it up and do the other way. And the instructions for how to make this will be in your kits too. And if you have any questions, you can come in and ask me, and I'm not as good at origami as Mr. Alex is, but I will try to help you. So after you've made all those folds, you'll have some crease lines in your paper. The next thing you'll do is fold both ends. You'll hold it like a square and then fold both ends into the center. So it looks kind of like a door or some curtains on a window. So that's the next thing you do. And then you will take the bottom and fold it up to the middle. So if these were in fourths, you take the bottom fourth and bring it up to the middle. So it's going to be up like this. The next step is a little bit tricky. You want it to look like this, like a boat. So when it's like this, you're going to kind of take this bottom corner, open it up again, and then you bring it all the way out to the side. Bring it from the bottom all the way out, and that's how you get this boat shape. So you open it a little bit, you take this bottom corner, and bring it all the way out. You might have to straighten the paper a little bit to make it go that way, but that's what you're going to do so it looks like a boat. And then you'll do the same thing on the other side, the top. You'll fold that down and then open them up. And then it will look like you have one boat and then another boat on top. When you get it to that point, you're going to just fold one up and another one down. So you're going to have points like this to make a pinwheel. And we'll give you a straw and we'll give you a cup. So if you want to make a pinwheel like this, what I did was I took a paper clip and very carefully poked a hole through the straw. And then we'll give you a couple of brass fasteners too. After I'd made the hole with the little hole with the paper clip, I very gently worked the brass fastener into it. And then I did the same thing. I made a hole in my pinwheel. And then when I had holes in the straw and in the pinwheel, the paper, I put the brass fastener through and then unfolded it on the outside. So the brass fastener has two ends. Once it's inside, you can just open it up a little bit like that. If you would like your pinwheel to actually move, then don't fasten it too tightly. Give it a little bit of space so it can turn. If you would like to make a windmill, you can just take the cup and use a paper clip, poke a hole in it, work the brass fastener inside again, and take it out, poke the hole in the paper pinwheel, use that, and attach to the cup instead. And then if you want, you can draw a little door and some windows, and now you've made a windmill. So you can use either of those if you want to decorate your donut table. The other thing you can do is make a tulip. So for these, we'll give you some red paper in a square, and you will fold it into a triangle, and then you'll fold that triangle in half. So you'll have a line for the center. And then there's only a couple more folds. Instead of folding the outside corners right onto the center, here's the center line, you put them a little bit to the side of the center line. Fold them up like that. And so now I think it looks a little bit like a tulip with the petals. You turn it over and you sort of just fold the outside corners in like that. And then we'll give you more of a tulip shape. Now, if you wanted to fill a bag with donuts, say, or a box, you could put the tulip on. You could draw a stem. You could take some green paper and roll it up and make a stem that way. And then if you're gluing it onto a bag, you could glue the stem on. You could glue the tulip on. Or you can make a stem and leaf from folding origami also. Now this is a little complicated, so I'm not actually going to show it to you now, but these origami tulips are from Red Ted Art, and I'll give you a link so you can look at the video on the Red Ted Art site, and if you'd like, you can fold it like this, and if you do it this way, it will actually stand up. So if you have any questions, again, you can come in and ask me. I'll give you the instructions. I'll give you a link to the video so you can watch it that way, and I figured it out, so I hope you'll be able to too. So you can use your tulips and decorate however you want. So please come into the children's room and pick up your kit. We'll have them as long as supplies last, or give us a call and we'll hold one for you upstairs, and you can just pull up to the alley and pick them up that way. You won't even have to get out of your car. We'll bring them right to you. So thank you very much, friends. I would love to see what you're making or hear what kind of donuts you make, so you can let me know. And if you can't come in to get a kit, I would be happy to send you the recipes too. You could just email at kids@adamslib.org. So I hope to see you soon, friends. I hope you'll enjoy your donuts. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.